Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, November 10th. It is 6:22 right now. We got about 8 minutes to market open, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. So I'm a little bit better today. As you guys can tell, my voice is still a little off, but I'm able to speak. So hopefully this will help with our analysis for today. I'll be a little bit quicker. I don't have to type stuff up. So just give me a few moments to finish setting this up and then we should be good to go. All right, solid. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, cool. We got a few moments for people to make their way in. Big spike this morning right here. Check news real quick. Hey, Kenny, morning. Morning, Peter. So good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 10th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. As you guys can tell, I can speak again. My voice is a little off still, but at least I can speak. So we had some inflation news here at 5:30. Obviously, flew market, off the charts. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that up so that we can be aware. I mean, it's hard to miss. So huge spike over here, the inflation news. Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I went to the doctor a couple of days ago. They finally gave me some meds, so healing. But yeah, huge spike right here. So I'm just gonna put this right here, 5:30 a.m. US inflation news. News was negative, but obviously, I've been trying to tell you guys for a while. Whenever you see, whenever you guys see news like that, typically does the opposite. So news was all negative, but it still shot up super heavy right there. I mean, that's just how the news plays out. So we have another news event coming up here at 7:30. And we'll see how price goes. So when the market opens in the next 5 minutes, we're going to have to see whether price, price ends up continuing or if it corrects back down. Well, I got to see what CNBC says. So let's see. CNBC over here, see if they report anything. They haven't reported anything. So I think once they do report something, price will probably do the opposite. So if they say price is going up, I think price will continue. If they say price is, I don't know, if they say price is going up, I think price will go down. Or if price is going down, then I think price will go the opposite way. So we'll see where it goes when the market does open shortly. Let's see. Yeah, Maddie said 69 short. It was 62 short before the spike, so sentiment went up. So I think price will continue to go up then. So Maddie said it was 62% short before news happened, and when news happened, it spiked up. So I think they're going to keep pushing price up because a lot of people are anticipating it to correct back down. But I think price will just keep pushing up higher. So we'll we'll see how that plays out. But not for the most part, will follow through. So I'll go over here and mark up the areas of liquidity. I mean, not that it really matters so far off, but mark these up right here. If when price, decides to come back down, or if it stays up there. A ton of liquidity down here. And we'll see how this plays out. I mean, there's price is so far away. Price is actually ranging right here. So it's kind of hard to tell that price is ranging, but it's really just ranging right here. And you can kind of tell there, but it's not super clear. Market is opening in about 2 minutes. So I think other than that, we've checked news. Got news coming up at 7:30. I think that's it. Just gotta see how market opens up. So other than that, we'll check overall bias over here, which is not going to matter. So just keep this in mind, guys. Overall bias is not going to matter because of this huge move this morning. It doesn't matter if it's overall bias for a buy, overall bias for a sell. I don't think it's going to have much effect on the market because it's really going to do whatever it wants to do on open. There's no way we can really predict what's going to happen on open. It was up 800 points, right? That's crazy. 800 points, like we haven't seen those kind of numbers since COVID. And that was like obvious. Everything's going to be bullish, obviously, because of the huge push. So I don't even have to work. I don't have to guess. Everything's literally bullish. Such a big push up. So if you go on the 4-hour, bullish, 1 hour, bullish, 30-minute bullish, doesn't matter where price was. Price was bearish here. It's all bullish now. It's such a huge push to the upside. See, everything here was bearish before. Bearish, 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 bullish. Doesn't matter. So right here, the overall bias is bullish, but we can't really use this. You got to take this with a grain of salt. Although I do think price will probably push up higher. You got to be careful because this spike here was just too big. So you measure price from down here up to here. This was an 8,000, almost 9,000 pip move. So let's keep that in mind. So I don't recommend anyone take a breakout, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, if you want to take it for a quick push, I think that should be okay. But taking it for an extended push, probably not. All right, guys, market is now open. Let's see where it goes. I think price is going to keep pushing up, but we'll see. I don't think it'll be a smooth push up, though. So not much movement here at all in open. Surprisingly, I thought price would move a bit more. This is Dow rallies 900 points as new data raises hopes that U.S. inflation may be peaking. We'll see. So price might drop a little bit. I don't think it'll drop too much, but I think it'll drop at least a bit. CNBC released, positive data, of course, because they did push up like 900 points. So, with that said, I think price will have to crack down a little bit. Not a huge amount, but I think a little bit at the very least. Yeah, C6 as well. Look at that drop. So we actually have a high level momentum right here, but I mean, I can see it probably dropping this far. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to take this trade, but we'll see. This would technically be the breakout right here as well. So this is the first strong candle after open. The problem here is that the bias is still very bullish. So doesn't exactly meet the criteria. Patrick said, don't think I've ever been happier to hear another man's voice again. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, no, I'm back finally. Hopefully for good now. No, for sure. Maddie said that's actually a huge drop. Can't really tell because of the spike, but it's a 1,000 pip candle. Yeah, actually, this is a pretty big drop right here. From my perspective, as well. Yeah, Maddie said it might take out the low, which I agree. Might be the case here too. Yeah, I mean, personally, I could probably see this taking out the low and then knocking out even lower to the TP right here I've marked up. So this is a high level momentum entry right here. As you can see, there was a high that was established right here. We had a sell momentum. It's pushing away from the high here, which we consider a supply. And then we basically take it down for a 1-to-1 risk reward. It's just too big of a move though, so we wouldn't really want to take it because it's just too risky. Because we really don't know where price is going to go, right? I know this drop down is temporary. I don't think it's going to hold for too long. But yeah, eventually I do think price can push back up. So we'll have to see where this goes. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the correction. I don't think this is going to be a long-term push down. I'm only expecting, well, we already expected this to drop down because CNBC reported that it was bullish. So when CNBC reports on stuff like this, we typically see the market do the opposite. Overall bias here is very bullish though. And sentiment here is pretty high. It's going out 68% short. People have pulled out. But yeah, I mean, with this said, it's still majority of traders on the short side. So I don't think price is going to hold down for too long. I think it'll eventually come back up. It's just a matter of time. Also with this big candle right here, I'm expecting a correction back up at some point. So I actually want this candle to drop a little more so that we get a big red candle right here. Once you get a big red candle at this point, price will correct back up to fill it, right? So that's kind of what I'm expecting. I actually want it to close down pretty heavy. So it wouldn't be a bad thing if it comes down and finishes this move here. But then again, if it keeps dropping, it's got this whole gap right here to fill as well. right down here. 6,000 pip move. Yeah, first target price point is going to be the low over here. So what might happen is price might spike down pretty hard, bounce off that and come right back up. That's like one scenario. There's nothing here on the 10 yet though. So I do expect a correction. It's almost there. Oh, there it is. So full TP off the high-low scalp right here. I mean the high-low momentum. So as you can see, this is one of the strategies that I was going to show you guys on Monday on a mentoring session. I'll probably hold them. If I don't hold the mentoring session tomorrow, then we'll probably do it on Monday. We'll just reset it again next week. I was going to do it today, but I have furniture getting delivered to my place. So I have a lot of new furniture coming in. So I won't be able to hold a mentoring session today, but I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, let's do it on Monday. Let's have a big mentoring session on Monday and cover this strategy with you guys, because the strategy is super lucrative. You guys can see here, if things line up properly, they do usually play out pretty heavy. So this would have been a huge move right here if we took it. It's just too risky because of this big move right here. I'm not sure where price was going to go, but basically, if you guys trade supply and demand, or you guys like supply and demand, this is a more objective way of identifying it versus how most of the other people apply it. Because identifying supply and demand is super subjective. Like, people don't use specific indicators for it. They kind of just look for these big candles. Like, for example, here, right? You see this big push right here? They'd probably identify this as demand, right? The thing with the high-low indicator is that you already know where it's going to be because you have the lower end next to it. So, and it's a quicker way of identifying it, because typically when you look for supply and demand, from what I've seen, because I don't trade supply and demand, when you look for supply and demand, you look for it after it happened. So like this already pushed up right here, right? So you identify this as supply. The thing with this right here is we already identified this. This was demand. Looking at this over here, we already identified this as supply even before the move happened, right? So the move never happened, but we already identified this as supply. So we already had a head start before everyone else. So we're basically identifying supply before everyone else does. You have a head start. So I'll show you guys how to do that later on the mentoring session. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's just looking. So this thing has a pro and a con. The pro is that if you catch it early, you're going to be on the money, right? You catch the supply before it pushes, you're on the money, straight to your TP. If you're wrong, then you're going to hit your stop loss, right? Because it's not going to keep pushing. But the thing with this is, like, after a lot of testing for me and Maddie, it hits more than it doesn't. Like, we're usually right more than we are wrong. So with that said, it's better to take a chance, because if you're trading a 1-to-1 risk to reward, you make a lot of money if you keep doing this over and over again, and then eat the losses and then just continuing basketing the wins. So it's all about probability, guys, here. Like, the probability of the strategy is very high. This is why all the strategies I call for lately have been based off this. This is just like a spin-off off the intraday entry, except it's just done at a different rate. So, like, for example, right here, you see how this one right here at 608, it's another one, right? We have a low right here. We identify this as the demand. There's no way you could define this as demand before it happened, right? There's no way you could have predicted that price was going to go from this point to here, right? Like, for sure. So right here, we have a 50% chance. Plus we have another strategy here. We have a pivot scalp that adds another probability to it. Plus we have an entry right here. That's another probability to it. So if you were to take the trade right here and take a long position, and you're just basically, you're predicting that this is going to be demand, right? There you go, full TP. And then we get another one right here that just played out. We identify this as supply because we have a momentum signal after it. And you take that, and what do you know? You get 2 back-to-back wins. If you're doing this for a 1-to-1, you can eat a loss here, you'll still be in profit. right? So, you know, the reason why I really came up with this is because Maddie likes to trade supply and demand, and I knew that, and I was trying to figure out a more objective way where, you know, there's less mistakes that could be made to identify it, and then to tie it in with K2, obviously, because you can see here that if you tie them together, K2 and identifying where the bottoms and tops happen, you know, you're in for like a lot of profits if like you end up taking almost, you know, majority of the trades. So yeah, we'll be going over this. This is basically the strategy I've been using for all of the Forex trades too, except for the Forex, since we don't use sentiment on Forex, or we don't really have much of a long-term bias. I just compare it with like other assets. So I took this trade last night. I forgot to call it. Sorry guys, I was, you know, I'm still sick, so I took it and I just went to sleep. But there was a trade right here that I took last night for a sell, and it hit my TP right there. I mean, it barely hit my TP before this big spike happened. But the way I would do this is I would look at the other AUD pairs, and if they're all bearish, so like at that time, they're all bearish down here. So everything was bearish, right? Except AUD and ZD. This is a tricky pair because these are both similar pairs. That's why it usually goes sideways. But basically, AUD CAD, AUD CHF, AUD JPY, AUD USD, they were all down. So when I took this trade right here, I was like, okay, if they're all down, this is probably going to drop further. And that's why I took the trade. And that's why I hit my TP. So I'll go over that as well. I'll show you guys the Forex trade analysis, and I'll show you guys applying it on US30 as well. It's a super lucrative way of trading. Hey, Maria, morning. Yeah, Maddie said he uses pivots, trend meter, sentiment, high-low indicator. I'll use this Confluence, and it helps out a lot. So here we are on the 1 minute. We still don't have any entries here, guys. I'm looking for anything that I could possibly find. V1 variations, V1 continuations. Not really the high-low. I mean, sorry, not the high-low. Not really the SR rejection scalps, because price isn't really ranging right now. And there's not really many zones around this area anyways. I mean, I'll draw them up, but I don't think they're really all that necessary. I wonder if this would have hit. I mean, the trade still hit, so it's not necessarily like super obsolete. It's just price isn't really ranging too much right now. And this strategy is meant for ranging assets, or not ranging assets, but ranging conditions. So the trades are still hitting. I mean, right here, you have a sell entry that came up right here. Wick rejection off structure, but the trend meter is not red, so you can't even take any trades at that point. I guess we could leave them up. If we see anything good, we can try to use it, but the trend meter is currently blue right now, so not much for us to take at the moment. So a possible buy signal right here. It's not rejecting off the low here though, so it's not going to be a high-low momentum. This would technically be a pivot scalp entry. Exit candle. But I probably would hold off on it for a bit. Yeah, the candle's too big. It's way too big. The problem with this is if your stop loss is 300 pips, then if it pulls back, because you know it's a big candle, if it has to retrace a little bit, it can stop you out before it hits your TP. That's why I don't really take these trades when they're too big. Yeah, see this? This is why you wouldn't want to take the trade. The candle's just too big. Gets too close to your stop loss, and then it'll stop you out, and then it'll eventually just come back up and swing up. So let's see. Madhu said, hey, Sean, I just took a trade a few minutes ago. My main account hit full TP for 960. My copier locked in 980, both on FTMO. Do you have your copier stop loss settings? No, we don't do that. We don't copy any of the TP stop losses. It's just slippage. It's either slippage or the execution times are off, because you see how the market's moving kind of crazy right here. It's hard for them to fill execution times because a lot of people are trying to gamble the market. So that's something that's been happening to me all week. You know, it is elections week, so obviously there's gonna be a lot of this random spike in volatility. So my profits are super off on FTMO. Well, not super off. They're probably off by like 1,000, because right now it shows me for the week, I'm up like 3,000 off my main account. So that's where I'm executing my trades. And then on my copier, I'm only up like 3,000. So I'm off like $1,000, which is kind of a lot. It's not just from one trade, but it's from multiple trades. So I don't copy the stop loss TP. The market moves too fast for you to copy it. The thing is, we don't even usually use a TP stop loss because the DOM sets it up for us. So we don't, like, we're not able to set the thing into the parameters quick enough. And then usually hits TP before it even gets to that point. So we don't copy the settings. I think you just got hit with some slippage and possible execution time issues. I've had really bad issues with MFF though. I'm starting to get annoyed with MFF because MFF, it's super off. Like I'm off by like 5,000 on MFF. And that's a big difference compared to like, the 1,000 that it's off on the FTMO. So MFF is like really, really off right now. I was hoping they'd get better, but they're not really as good as I thought. TFF is actually doing better than MFF, which is crazy. But I think TFF is on the same servers as FTMO. So that's probably why. MFF's on their own server. I don't know what they're using, but they're on a different server. I think TFF and FTMO use the same server. So I think that's why they're very similar in profits and stuff. But MFF is like way off. They're off by like 2,000 to 5,000. Like each of my MFF accounts too. It's not just one of them. It's like I have 3 accounts, so they're all like super off. So yeah, unfortunately, I think that's the case. It's just you got caught with some slippage. It's been happening to me too all week. So you're not the only one that it's happening to. Actually, it happened to me yesterday too. Did I show my profits yesterday? I'm pretty sure I did. So, I mean, both my MFFs were kind of off yesterday. Like you can see my TFF down here, I made 1,600. My first FTMO, this is actually my main account, I got less. My second one here got a little more. My MFFs obviously were low as usual. So honestly, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know where the issue is. I think it's just all together. Execution times are kind of bad all around. So still no entries here. I'm expecting price to go up at some point, but I don't know if it's going to go up just now. Let me go and just update these zones real quick. They're not zones, these high lows. All right. See, Maddie said 68% short, still assuming that trying to lure in more traders right now with these slow movements and push price. Yeah, I think what they're doing right now is the price is just going to slow down for a bit. It'll consolidate and eventually it'll break out. So you can see right here, it's actually in a range. You can tell the range right here on the clean chart. Not really much going on here. Okay, price slightly broke out of it. Let's see if this is a fake out or if it continues to push up. So this might be a fake out here. I'm going to go down the Forex pairs real quick, see if there's any entries here that we could possibly take. I don't think there's going to be very many because of this big spike this morning. It's going to be hard to really gauge. There's a spike on all these pairs here, so it's hard to really gauge where, if this is going to be a smooth move or not. CAD CHF. The reason why these have a big move is because CHF is a safe haven currency. So when it affects the US, it does the opposite for CHF. JPY as well. So JPY and CHF, they're both safe haven currencies. If you guys are not familiar with that. Full TP on the CHF JPY. I was going to take this last night, but I skipped it. Basically, the main pairs that go opposite of US would be JPY and CHF, Swiss franc and the Japanese yen. So whenever there's US news, you'll see like big spikes happen. Yeah, I'd probably hold off on these Forex pairs right now because these spikes here are not helpful. Yeah, there's a spike on nearly every pair here. Even the non. So there's an entry right here for GJ. But it's too big and spike in price kind of screws with it a little bit. It's almost a 200 pip move. ZCAD, full TP. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on these Forex pairs for now. It's just all of them spiked, so not exactly the best time. So yeah, this was a fake out right here, as you guys can see. This here was a fake out. Turn to range. So price just faked out right here and then return back to the range. It's not too much going on here. So we had another high level momentum here, but this isn't one that I would necessarily entertain because for one, it's a sell, and for two, it is it's going against bias. I mean, this might drop here. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this would be considered a high level momentum. For the high level momentum, the invalid and valid momentum doesn't really matter. It just depends on which direction momentum goes. So for example, here we have the rejection off this point. We have a sell momentum. So we're expecting price to come down even though it's invalid. The problem with this here is that price is so bullish that I don't think this will hold. This would have been okay maybe on open because we had that news that came out over here. So this was okay for us to look for a sell since CNBC was reporting, bullish news here for US30. However, I mean, the numbers here are changing. So this was like, it was a 900 earlier. Now it's down to 700. They got to make up their mind, right? If it was up 900, I was going to go from 900 to 700. So just got to wait. They're going to keep releasing these updates. When they release these updates right here, it's going to cause the market to shift a little bit. So whenever you see news like this, price usually does the opposite. That's why price kind of dropped here a little bit. You can see on open here, not really on open, but this is at 650. So when that news dropped right here, this update was, 653. So around 650, price dumped a bit right here, about 1,000 pips almost. It was based off the news. So I want to be careful with taking these entries here because you'll get these temporary pushes down. I think overall price is going to come up though. So that's where I think price is going. It's just you don't want to get caught in these fake outs. This price is faking out a lot right here. So here we go. As price pushes up a bit higher. Price just broke this high. This might be another fake out though, so I don't recommend anyone chase it. So I don't be surprised if this comes right back down, pulls back into the range. What I would be looking for is like a V1 or a V1 continuation. So if price does come back down, establishes a low, then I'm expecting price to probably come back up, maybe even a high-low quick scalp if I see anything come up here. Yeah, Maddie said waiting for a high-low quick scalp, but too low now, yeah. So it's kind of what I'm waiting for too, Maddie. Or maybe not even a high-low quick scalp, probably look for a V1 or V1 continuation. I think that'd probably be safer. Because the problem with the lows is that it's so subjective, right? Whenever you see lows like that, they're not established yet. So that's what makes it risky. Another strategy that I was going to show you guys was a high-low reversal. So if you guys look at this right here, one thing that I noticed is if you get a high that's red and you get a low that's red, this is a reversal pattern. high red, low red. From this point right here, I would have taken a buy for a 1-to-1 risk reward. Would have hit full TP right there. Actually, no, I take that back. That was wrong. What I meant here is if you have a low that's red and a high that's red, that's where you see the reversal. So you see how price kind of comes down. It shows that it's bearish from down here, pushes up. The top's bearish as well. From that point, that's where I would take the short. I got to figure out what the TP stop loss would be for something like that, though. Same with the opposite. So, like for example, you have a high and a low that's green, then I'm expecting the opposite of buy. I don't know if there's any examples here, but you do see a lot here where it's low with the red, high with the red. Take the short right there for a 1-to-1. 350 pips, full TP right there. But again, this market today is a little bit different, so it's a little bit tricky because of this big spike right here. But that's something that you guys can probably use. It's just two different strategies I was going to show you guys during the mentoring session. The high-low momentum is the main one, but it's another one that we're still testing, which I call the high-low reversal. I think the high-low momentum, though, is probably going to be the key thing to be using. You just need a couple confluences, maybe one or two more confluences to help with identifying quality moves. But see if we could find something here. All right, so price is pushing up higher. I think target price point is going to be the opening price right there. And there you go. Price reached the opening price right there. It's the initial target. See if price actually breaks above it or if it has trouble. Next target price point is going to be this high right here. So if price can break and close past the opening price, this is the next target price point up here. Let's see if it reaches that point. We got some profits over here. Let me check David real quick. So David posted his profits for the day. Currently up 229 for the day. Took some buys. Nice work, David, in the direction of bias. And then again, right here, 248, another profit right there. Solid. Yeah, so David took some trades there. Came up in profit, so that's good. Let's see. Anything else here for us to look at? Some more profits over here from Patricia. She took these all pre-market, so solid moves right there, Patricia. Awesome. She's up 13,468. Great work, Patricia. All right, so the next target was hit over here, as I mentioned. I said if price breaks and closes above the opening price, the next target price point is going to be this right here. And price did hit it. So after that, there isn't really anything up after that. So that is the last level of price that we can really use as a target. We'll have to follow and see where it goes from here. Maddie over here as well. Currently up to 840 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. So solid work right there. He said each of his wins should have been 500, but it hit his TP and didn't close. He had to manually close. So yeah, it looks like a lot of these he had to just close himself. Because he might have been caught in some widespread, or there's probably some execution issues. I mean, I'm not surprised because of how the market's been moving today, or this whole week. This whole week's kind of been off, guys. So it's been election week for the US. So it's been, market's kind of been all over the place, right? You guys know that. It was expected. I talked to Maddie about this on Monday. You know, it was expected. The market was going to move kind of funky. But here we are. So we're here on Thursday. It's fine. I'm kind of glad that this week is going to end soon, because I'm just tired of this crazy movement. Or not really crazy movement, but a lot of the slow movements too. Like a lot of the times this week, we'd have like some big, nice moves, and then all of a sudden price just dies down. So I'm ready for some smoother markets. You know, the smooth markets come and go. Like sometimes you'll have 1 week, next week they'll just be choppy, because we go from like NFP to like elections week, and then next week's going to be regular, I think. I don't think there's anything next week, right? So next week's the third week of November. So we're going to have Fed week coming up, I believe. So this is next week over here. Actually, I don't see any. We have some inflation news, which is fine. That's good. It's going to cause volatility in the market. So we have no news Monday. We have inflation news on Tuesday. Retail sales, import prices, the G20 meetings. Actually, next week's not too bad. We have unemployment claims, existing home sales. Yeah, so next week's actually not too bad for news. I thought it was Fed week, but I guess Fed week was moved this month. It's usually the middle week of the month. Oh yeah, and tomorrow is a holiday, as Maria mentioned. Yeah, so this is just it's just a bit of a regular week for us. We had election day on Monday, Tuesday. Well, Tuesday was the actual election day, but people were voting on Monday, and then Friday is Veterans Day. So it's just, this whole week was kind of off, guys. So like if you're kind of discouraged trading because of this week, I wouldn't use this week as a sample, because this week's not a good sample size. Tomorrow's gonna be a holiday in the market, so the federal holiday for us. It's a bank holiday, which is Veterans Day. So market's gonna be pretty slow tomorrow as well. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said 40 trading week, election, then CPI. So this whole week in general was kind of off. I mean, it's probably a good week for me to be sick, because, I wasn't really able to take too many trades since I was typing everything up. I couldn't really express my thoughts quick enough to take these trades. So it's all good. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, we're probably I think market will pick up a bit more next week, coming back from the holiday week or holiday election CPI week. Yeah, Patrick said they hate it when one party controls every branch, they like indecision, so policies don't stop money flow. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick said, yeah, market pays close attention to elections, especially big money. Yeah, a lot of the big companies, right? I agree. PC said the stock market is open tomorrow, though it's a bank holiday. Yeah, I know the stock market will be open, but it's still a holiday. So like, there's a lot of people who are in the market in general that were veterans. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. So I'm not sure, PC, where you're located, but Veterans Day is like a day for all the military here in the US. There's a lot of people in the market that are like in the military. So they actually do take that holiday seriously, and they don't work on that day. So I'm not expecting the market to have much volatility tomorrow. Is the stock market open tomorrow? Let me check. Is US stock market open on Veterans Day? Yeah, so it is open. So it says, but the bond market and post office are both closed. Yeah, no, it's open, but I've traded on Veterans Day like in the past. It's pretty slow. I don't know if you traded Veterans Day last year. It was pretty slow. Yeah. So I mean, if you guys want to trade, I'll be live it tomorrow. It's not that I'm not going to trade. It's just I think the market's going to be slow, and with the market being slow like that, I don't think there's going to be much direction in the market. So yeah. No, thanks for letting us know, PC, because I didn't know myself. I just remember the market was slow last year. It's kind of hard to tell if like, because the thing is, this is so close to the holidays where you can't really tell if it's, because of the holiday or if people are just taking it easy as we get closer to Thanksgiving. It's yeah, when is Thanksgiving this year? I don't even know. Thanksgiving is a week after next week, right? 22nd or 23rd. Man, this year's flown by like crazy. Yeah, Thanksgiving is on the 24th. So the week after next week is Thanksgiving. So this whole month is kind of like off, right? We have elections, we have a holiday week, and then next week is kind of a normal week, and then the week after that we have Thanksgiving. So I mean, we're in the holidays already, so the market's going to be kind of iffy all throughout the rest of the year. It's just like this, guys. So unfortunately, I mean, if you guys haven't traded for years, you haven't really experienced these types of conditions. It doesn't mean that you can't make profit during these markets. It's going to be a lot slower, which could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. The thing is, we're scalping here, so it doesn't really affect us too much. We can still make profits in the market. If you're trading intraday or longer trades, it's going to be harder because the market's not really going to move far enough for you to catch bigger moves. So for us, I don't think this is going to really affect us too much. Patrick said, so basically today's Friday. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, this is basically Friday for us. Miriam said, good to hear you again, Sean. Yeah, thanks, Miriam. I'm glad to be back. Glad my voice is back. I can speak with you guys here. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Let's see. Jennifer's asking if I'd be able to enable automated closed captioning for future meetings. Yeah, sure, Jennifer. So Jennifer's asking if I can do automated closed captioning for Zoom. I'll check that out after. I didn't know you could do that. So I'll take a look at that. PC's asking if we can do the mentoring session tomorrow during the market at the time of live session. Yeah, I don't see why not. If you guys are okay with that, we'll just consider it a live session. But I mean, if you guys are there, you guys will see it as mentoring session. So yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, if the market's slow, then we'll do questions and I'll go over the strategies. But if not, we'll just focus on as a normal live session because I can't really tell if the market's going to be slow tomorrow or not, right? Last year was slow, but I don't know if it's going to be like that this year. Every year is different. There's different factors in the market. So I don't even need to put a poll for that. What we'll do tomorrow, guys. So if you guys are here tomorrow, we'll do a normal live session, but if the market's too slow, I'll just keep a separate tab, like maybe the clean chart tab here. I'll just leave this blank and then we'll do a mentoring session on this tab here. And then if the market picks up, we'll go back to the market, but we'll do that so that I can show you guys the high-low momentum and high-low reversal strategy in detail so that you guys can have the requirements. So we'll do that. And then on Monday, we'll do, the full mentoring session. Yeah, we'll do that. So that's a good idea. So thanks, PC and Madhu, for input on that. So yeah, tomorrow you guys should probably not miss the live session, right? Tomorrow it's going to be kind of bundled in with a mentoring session because I don't think we'll have time for a mentoring session this week. And it's fine because we're going to have a mentoring session on Monday, so it's not like you're missing a whole lot. Yeah, so I think for tomorrow, big things we'll cover would be the high-level momentum. I think I have the requirements here. I could probably just put the requirements up so we'll have it ready for tomorrow. Yeah, no, definitely, Maddie. For sure. Yeah, guys. So like another FYI too, Maddie's going to be partnering with me to call signals, and he's going to do his own private mentoring too. So if you guys need help, Maddie will be doing some private mentoring. So I want to give you guys a heads up. I don't know when he's going to start, but that's his plan with me. Maddie's going to help me run K2 with regard to like mentoring you guys and teaching, because Maddie's really the person that I've been mentoring myself. So Maddie's been with me every day, basically learning and mastering these strategies inside and out, like this momentum strategy, high level momentum that I've been applying. Maddie's like the main person who's really been testing it with me. So, he's going to help me with signals, and he's going to help me with mentoring you guys privately, like one-on-one. And I do trust Maddie with teaching you guys, because I literally built Maddie from not knowing anything about trading, and all he knows is K2. So he's really good at with all the stuff that we're applying, and he can really help you guys out, especially if you guys are beginners. I know a lot of you guys feel kind of, you feel like you don't want to bug me, so you don't want to ask me for help. So if that's the case, you can get help from Maddie. Maddie's on the same level. Well, he's not on the same level as you guys, but Maddie, all he knows about trading is through K2. So he'll basically be able to teach you anything that you need to know to make things, to basically bring you guys to the next level. Because the problem with you learning from someone who knows other stuff, like, and you guys could probably relate to it. Like if you guys came to K2 from somewhere else and you guys are too used to like other strategies, it's hard for you to learn this stuff because you're too stuck on like those old strategies, which that's not a problem. That's how a lot of people are. I feel like it's harder to unlearn bad strategies than it is to learn better new strategies, because you keep getting them mixed up. So just keep that in mind, guys. So I just want to give you guys that heads up. Also, Maddie's also going to be interning with me for school, so it's a win-win for him. So, all right, guys. Anyways, there's no entries for us to take right now. But if we see anything good here, we'll take it. So here, I'll just make the requirements for the high-low momentum. We don't have any entries here right now, but I'm just going to do it since we don't have anything to look at. High-low momentum strategy. So zone at high-low before momentum to confirm some high-low zone. Enter on close of momentum candle. Previous high-low for 1-1. And that's about it. Note. Optional stop loss profit. So this is basically the strategy. It's very simple. I'll see if I can show you guys some examples here because we don't really have anything to take at the moment. But this is really the strategy here. It's super basic. Like basically all you're doing is you're looking for momentum. So, I might have to change the requirements over a little bit. So let's see. Actually, I'll do this first. I'll add another requirement here. So it doesn't matter whether it's valid or invalid. Just need to update it a little bit because there's the step-by-step process here is really you're looking for momentum. That's the catalyst for this type of entry. So this is literally the strategy I've been using. This is just a spin-off off the normal intraday strategy because like basically for intraday strategy, you're matching, momentum with the trend meter. But for this here, and let me just use a different chart here too. So there's no entries right here, guys. Don't worry, we're not missing anything. We're actually, Let me wait here because this might be a high low. This might be a SR rejection scalp right here. So rejection off structure. No, it looks invalid. So I'll watch it for a few seconds here, see if it pushes back up, but I just didn't want to miss this trade if it closed as an SR rejection scalp. Or a high-low momentum as well. So we'll see if this here closes properly. Candle's kind of big, but we'll see if it closes. So I'm not in this position yet, guys. I'm just trying to analyze it first. So this would actually qualify as a high-level momentum. It's just kind of a big move though. 660 pips. So I'd be more inclined to take this. I mean, there's like two different types of, there are basically two different strategies that align with this here. This would be considered the high-low momentum. But the thing with this strategy here is this isn't really meant to be applied on the shorter time frames. I've tested it with Maddie. I mean, it does work. You have to take a lot of entries to basically cover your losses. So with this right here, again, we'll just identify the requirements here. You identify this as the momentum signal. You draw the zone at the previous high-low. You confirm it's rejecting off the zone, which it is right here. This candle here is pushing away from it. And then you'd enter on the close of the momentum candle, which would be right there. So this would technically be a high-low momentum entry. But because there's so many momentum candles that come up on the 1 minute, it's not very accurate on the 1 minute. I think it's still above 50% win rate, but you're gonna have to take a lot of trades to cover, you know, the risk there. This is mainly applied on higher time frames, like the 10-minute is one of the good ones. On FX, I use this on the 1 hour and 4 hour. It's like this strategy right here that I took, or this entry that I took right here. Again, I'll put the requirements. So I'll just replay back to this point right here. So right here, again, identify momentum signal. We have a sell signal right here. You want to draw a zone at the high-low before the momentum. So the momentum is right here. The previous high-low is at this point. You're looking for a high because you're looking for a sell here. So you're looking for price to push away from the zone. You have price pushing away from it. You confirm the momentum is rejecting off the zone, which it is right here. You enter on the close of the candle right here, which would be there. Your stop loss would be up here, 81.4. You let the trade run from this point. And you can see full TP right there. There's actually two entries right here. There's one right there that was already running. And there's another one that came up right over here. So there's actually two entries that came up. Another one right there. Two back-to-back entries at that point. So this is an example of like how that strategy would be applied. Here's a 1 minute entry that we marked up earlier. So the trade's still running. I don't think that it's not going to hit, but I do think it's kind of risky because opening price is right here. So TP is going to have to pass the opening price right here. And this is what I don't like about the 1 minute too much, is because there's a lot of red flags. So it's kind of difficult to apply the strategy on the 1 minute, because you're going to run into a lot of red flags here when you're trying to reach your TP. So right here is the high-low momentum that we were just discussing. You can see there, it does retrace back a little bit, but does push back up. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it does hit TP, but I'd also be a bit wary because it has to pass through opening price right here before it reaches that point. And there's also news coming up over here as well. So what I would recommend is if you guys want to apply this strategy, I would probably apply it on the 10-minute. 10 minutes, a lot more accurate. Like here's another example right here. I'll just replay to this point. So again, right here, I'll just show you strategy again. Refresh it. All right. And I've seen this work well on like NASDAQ as well. So again, right here are the requirements for the high-low momentum. Identify momentum signal. We have a momentum signal right here. Another thing that you want to be careful for is if the candle's too big. Like for example, here, this candle was like way too big, right? So I wouldn't have taken this trade right here. This candle right here is about 1,700 pips. That's way too big. This right here is also a little big, but it's not as big, right? I think the cutoff is like 1,500 pips. This is 1,300 pips, so this is kind of okay. But this one over here is just way too big. I wouldn't take this because it's due for retracement, which is what happened here. Price pushed up, then it retraced down. So looking at this right here, identify momentum signal. We have a sell momentum right here. Draw a zone at the high low before the momentum. So you're looking for a sell. You're just going to draw a zone right there. Third, you want to confirm momentum is rejecting off the high-low zone. So right here, this candle is rejecting off this zone here. So you'll enter right here for a short. Stop loss is going to be up here at the previous high-low. It's 1,880 pips. Got the trade set up right there. Let the trade run. So it goes into some drawdown here, but if you just trust it and let the trade run, you can see that it hits TP. So it takes a while to hit, but it does hit. So you've been holding on to this trade for about, and this trade came up at 7:40 a.m. yesterday. So you would have held on to this trade for about 3 hours, but it would have hit your TP for a huge come out right there. So a big jackpot win right there for 1,880 pips. Very simple strategy. You can use the trend if you want to. You don't have to. It's not one of the requirements, but more confluence is the better. It's just not a requirement. It's optional. So I'll go over this tomorrow during the live session, which will do like a partial live, partial mentoring session. And here we go with the trade that's already running. So same one that we marked up earlier, still running. It's currently at that area where I told you where it'd be risky, opening price, but it looks like it's on its way to full TP. You can see right there, it bounced directly off opening price and it's coming back down. I'll just set an alert right there so we can follow it. This is why it's a little risky. As you can see how price pushed up, reach this point. I mean, price will probably break up eventually, but it's probably going to bounce around before it does. So I don't really trust the 1 minute as much. The 1 minute really respects these red flags. The 10-minute, not so much. So I don't really care about the 10-minute. Even like the sessions, I don't really pay too much attention to the sessions on the 10-minute. The shorter time frames, they do respect them a lot though. So that's where you probably want to be a bit more careful. Yeah, Maddie said he likes taking quick scalps within the high-low momentum. Yeah, me too, Maddie. He said he's still iffy about the whole move. If it's on the higher time frame, I'm cool with it because you can just set and forget it, leave it alone. And about this optional move right here, where it says to move stop loss and profit. So for example, let me see if I can find another one here to show you guys. Let's see. So with this one right here, I'll just use this as an example for you guys here. So with this over here, guys, you can use this as, so identify momentum signal, right? Draw a zone at the previous high low right there. I'll take your short position right here. So with the optional requirement, you're going to get stopped out in profit a lot, but this is going to prevent you from losing a lot too. Like you're probably not going to lose very much. Eventually you'll start stacking up wins, but you're gonna run into a lot of break even. So if this starts to frustrate you, then just let the trade run. So identify momentum signal right here, draw a zone at the high low. Confirm momentum is rejecting off the high low. You can see this counter here is pushing away from the zone. You enter on the close, which will be right here. You let the trade run. If you're following the optional requirement here, move stop loss and profit. So you can see when price closed below opening price, right? So you're now in profit. What would you do at this point is you'd move your stop loss in profit so you can guarantee at least some profit there, right? Right here, you can see that you would have gotten stopped out in profit because price spiked up. Eventually would have hit your TP, but you probably would have gone stopped out before it would have, or would have gone stopped out in profit before it happened. So right here, you would have been stopped out in profit. Here's an example where you could have done it, but you wouldn't have got stopped out in profit. So here's another one right here. So identify momentum. We have a buy signal right here. Draw a zone at the high low. There's a zone right there. And this is if you're a conservative trader. If you're scared to lose trades and you don't like to lose trades, then this is a good starting point. You can just do this for initially, and then once you get better, you'll start to let the trades run. For me personally, I just let the trades run. I don't really care because I'm doing a 1% risk. So if I lose, that's fine. If I win the next one, I make it right back. So you have the entry set up right here. You take the trade up. See how the trade's up like that right there? At that point, then you move your stop loss in profit. So my stop loss is actually in profit right here. So I guarantee profit already, right? I move my stop loss like pretty high, like to that point. So I almost guarantee myself some profit. So this is the scenario here. If price comes down, I get stopped out in profit. I'm still happy, right? Whatever. If price pushes up, I get full TP. So I'm on a win-win scenario right here. It doesn't matter. You let the trade run, full TP. You would have protected your position, and you also would have reached full TP, even though your position was protected. So you would have gone full TP here. You've gone break even on the next trade. I mean, it's not a huge deal, right? So here's, and that's just another example right there. I don't think there's anything else here. There's no example here. Here's one more. Let's do one more example and we'll go back to US30. So again, right here, you have a sell momentum. You draw your zone right here at the previous high low. You can see so this is where it's kind of tricky because this is a valid entry, but what me and Maddie like is when price actually closes outside of the zone, right? You don't necessarily have to wait for that, but you can see here that the stop loss is kind of tight. So it does make it a little bit risky, but you don't have to do this. If you want to, you can just take the trade. The thing is, the less requirements, the better, because if you have too many requirements, you're not going to have any entries. So right here, again, it's 35.4 pips. You let the trade run. So you can see right here, again, price pushes in a profit, right? When it pushes in a profit, you move your stop loss in profit. My stop loss is in profit already, right? When it's there, you let the trade go and full TP. You've guaranteed profits here. So you're already guaranteed. You're guaranteed you would never lose a trade. But right here, you have the protection. You also have the full TP. So this is why I put that requirement there, because I think it's a good requirement, but sometimes it does cut you short. So just keep that in mind. So, okay, here's one more example. Let me see if I can show you one where it actually saves you, right? Because I want to show you guys like why it's important, because it does save you in some instances. So again, right here, like I'm purposely looking for a bad trade so that I can show you how this can save you if you do end up in a bad position. Or if like news is coming up and something's going to come spike price or something like that, right? So like right now, I'm purposely looking for a bad position if I could find one. Never mind, this went straight to TP. All right, anyways, we'll go over some more examples tomorrow. I don't want to cut in with our live session today. So like, I mean, I was purposely looking for a bad trade, but I can't really find one here. We'll do this tomorrow. The strategy is really good though. It has a very high win rate. So, I mean, I just take every single trade. Whenever I see something good here, I'll just take it, especially if it lines up with other confluences. All right, so we have, I'm just going to take these zones off, guys. I'm not really looking for any SR rejection, so I don't really care about these zones too much. It just messes up the chart, makes it too cluttered. So we got news right here. News right here at 7:30. It was negative. Thanks, I think Peter is showing me. I think this is positive. Patricia's asking, are you always taking it with 4 hour with pairs? No, I'm taking on 4 hour and 1 hour, Patricia. So if I don't see anything on the 4 hour, then I'm taking it on the 1 hour. So that's typically like, because the 4 hour doesn't always have signals, right? Like if you look at the momentum here, these are 4 hour candles. So these signals don't come up very often. They come up like, you know, once every couple of days. So if I don't see anything there, I go here on the 1 hour and I look at it. Obviously the 1 hour is going to be less. It's going to be more risky because there's a lot of different factors that affect the 1 hour. I think the 4 hour is the best time frame though. If you trade on the 4 hour, you'll find a lot of good entries. The 1 hour, you'll find good entries here and there, but you'll run into losses every so often. And it's okay because it's a 1-to-1. So you'll make your profit back either way, as long as you apply it properly. All right, so we have another red flag right here, which is news price. So US news, 7:30 a.m. US news, negative. So this is why it's kind of iffy to apply the strategy on the 1 minute, because you can see how messy it is right here. I typically like applying it when the TP is like really tight, like it's not super far off. Let me see how big is this one. No, this one is big. So this is another entry right here for a high-low momentum. This is like not taking into account, because we don't really use trend. I mean, you can use the trend if you want to have some sort of confirmation, but again, right here, identify momentum signal. We have a sell signal right here, draw a zone at the high-low momentum. The reason why I really like this strategy is because it's not subjective at all, right? You just look for specific things. There's no like, okay, look at the candle, like, is the candle strong? Is the candle weak, right? That's a big problem for a lot of people because they can't identify it properly. For this here, you're really just looking at momentum signal. Like you can't get this wrong. If you see a signal here, it's there. You know, you can't really screw it up. If you see a signal there, it fits the requirement. You draw a zone at the high-low. This high-low here, once this is set up, that high-low is not going to disappear. It's already set there, right? So once it's set there, you can't screw that up either because it's already set. It's like set in place. It's not going to disappear. Once you have that, you draw that down. And then after, you just confirm it's pushing away from the zone, which is not too hard. You see a red candle pushing away from the zone, it's rejecting. You enter right there. And this is what I like about the strategy, because you can test this strategy and you can get a real win rate. Like the win rate here, you can't like screw it up because all the requirements are set in place. So if you see a loss, the loss is there. If you see a win, the win's there. For this trade again, right here, you let the trade run, have all the requirements met, you let the trade run, and there you go, full TP. Super simple strategy. It's the same one that we're applying right here. It's just, and we don't use trend here, right? So the trend was actually bullish. This is why I don't use the trend, because for this here, you're just catching momentum. It doesn't matter where the trend's going. I mean, it'll help you, like it'll help you with confidence, but it's not necessary. So right here, you're going against the trend, but it still hits full TP, right? There's another entry right here. Let me just go back real quick. Just one more entry, guys, and then we'll go back to the strategy that's running. So again here, identify momentum signal. We have a buy signal right here, right? You want to draw a zone at the previous high-low. So high-low is right here. You have that set up. Confirm momentum is rejecting off the high-low zone. This momentum candle is pushing away from the zone. You can enter a long position right here. Stop loss is going to be set at the low right there for a 1-to-1, 520 pips. Let the trade run from there. Retraces a little bit, pushes up higher, full TP. So if you were to apply this strategy this morning, you would have had like 2 back-to-back full TPs. So you'd be up like 2%. If you're taking a 3% risk like I do, you'd be up 6% right now. If you're taking an FTMO, you'd be done with your FTMO in like halfway. because you need 10% to pass your FTMO. You have 2 trades right here for 3%. You'd be up 6% at that point. So, and I gave you guys a chart here too. So if you guys remember looking at this, I gave you guys a chart here for a 200K count. Maddie also gave me a chart here too. Let me see if I can find it. So Maddie gave me a chart here for a 50K account, 100K count, 200K count. So with this right here, as long as you're doing a 1-to-1 risk reward, this strategy has a high win rate. So as long as you just keep taking the trades, you're gonna like reach whatever goal you need to reach, right? So I just take these trades and then I just keep winning, because even if I eat losses, it's gonna bounce back either way. So we have a possible double body coming up right here. Thanks, Patricia, for the heads up. Actually, never mind. Or maybe it could still come up. But yeah, guys, so that's what I've been trying to show you guys all week. Strategy super lucrative. Scotty's asking, what time frame is that strategy on? It's on any time frame you want. It's on whatever you wish, Scotty. You want to go on the 1 minute, you want to go on the 10-minute, it's up to you. On the Forex, I applied on the 1 hour and 4 hour. For US30, I applied on the 10-minute. Sometimes on the 1 minute. This one right here that's running is on the 1 minute, but it is here, guys. I'll forward these to the group. So just look in the chat, guys. I'll forward this to the group. Thanks, Maddie, for setting this up. All right, so no double body right there, unfortunately. It's all good. I already sent it, Maddie, so you're good. Sent it right here. All right, Maddie, we'll see you tomorrow. So as you guys can see, Maddie's trying his hardest to like really put his input and try to like really set his place here in K2. Like he really wants to work with me. So, as I mentioned earlier, Maddie's going to start privately one-on-one mentoring people. So if you guys want to learn from someone who I've mentored myself one-on-one, like I basically mentored Maddie from like not knowing anything to knowing everything about trading. So Maddie's been with me for like about a year now. He's learned everything he knows about trading is from me. So like I really took him under my wing, and he really knows everything that I have to teach for the most part. He doesn't know everything yet, but he's getting there. But he knows everything that you guys would need to know. He's gonna also call signals with me, so we'll we'll see where that plays out. Anyways, there's no entries for us to take right now. Still waiting for something to come up here, but there just isn't anything for us to take. It's 7:40 right now. Let's take a look at the sentiment. Sentiment is currently 70% short. But anyways, guys, just what I was saying earlier. So I'll put the requirements up here for the or the high-low momentum, and I'll put the time frames too, because I know some of you guys are like curious about the time frames. So time frames recommended, right? All right, so these are the ones that I would recommend you guys trade on. It's typically better on the higher time frames because I mean, you can apply it on the shorter time frames if you want, but you guys would have to test it, right? I haven't tested it enough on the lower time frames. Maddie's actually tested it. So if you want to talk about this on the lower time frames, just message Maddie. He'll talk to you about it. He'll let you know what's up, because he likes trading the high-low quick scalps. That's like his favorite strategy. So what he does is he'll line this up on the 10-minute. So he'll go here on the 10-minute. And if he sees an entry here, like a high-low momentum, this is kind of what Seth was discussing to us too. Seth actually does something kind of similar. He'll find something on the higher time frame, and then he'll take trades on the lower time frames, right? So it just uses the confluence. That's kind of what Maddie does. He'll look for high-low momentum entries on the 10-minute or higher. And then from there, he'll just take scalps within it because he's still not comfortable with the bigger moves, which is okay. You know, not everyone's comfortable with bigger moves. Some people just like to scalp. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to get mentored by somebody where you don't feel like, where you feel like you're not like if you want to like get mentored by somebody and you don't want to get mentored by me for whatever reason, you know, just hit up Maddie. Maddie's here to help you guys. He's here to grow with you guys too. The thing is, like, mentoring you guys it's not necessarily a bad thing for us because it helps us get better too. If we're continually teaching you the strategies that we're applying, it helps us get better at it as well. Like for me, I know this like the back of my hand. Like I don't have to really think about it. If I look at an entry here, I could literally pull up any candle over here and I could tell you if like there's an entry there for me to take, right? So like, for example, if I'm looking at this right here, I'll just replay. I don't even know if there's a high here, but I'm just going to replay to this point. There is a high there, right? So I have the zone drawn right there. I have the momentum right there. I take my short position right here. Stop loss right there, 200 pips. This trade's taken at London session, 1247. Let the trade run. Full TP. Like I don't even have to think about it. I could literally just pull up any, like whatever I see here. And if I see something that I'm like, okay, this probably looks like it'd be an entry for, I don't know, like this one right here, maybe. So right here, right, we have a high low. This is not even a valid signal. It's an invalid signal. You still take it anyways. Long position right here. This is kind of a tight move though. I don't know if I'd take this one. This is like 90 pips. This wouldn't even cover spread. So I let the trade run. Still hits full TP. And this is how we get better, right? That's why I like mentoring you guys. That's why I have the mentoring session every week, because it actually helps me get better too. I don't have to think about these entries. Whenever I see something here, I just take it because it's just second nature to me. Yeah, Seth said feels much safer doing it that way than strictly looking at the 1 minute. And I agree with you too, Seth. Unfortunately, there's no entries here on the 10 minutes, so we can't run that right now. But if we did, you know, I'd be doing the same thing. Peter said Sean is Mr. Miyagi, Maddie is Daniel's son. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you know, it's funny how Maddie like even reached out to me. I didn't know who Maddie was. I just got this random guy who DM'd me on Instagram. I was like, hey, bro, can you teach me how to trade? And I've never talked to Maddie in my life. And I was just so annoyed because he hit me up like on a Friday night. I was about to go out and he's like sending me like a million messages like, hey, can you teach me how to trade? And I was like, okay, whatever. Talk to me on Monday. So he talked to me and this guy just kept bugging me. And then now here he is. It's basically my what are those things called? Not a prototype. Basically the guy who basically learns from the mentor. Yeah, protege, yeah. Like what Cece said. He's basically my protege. Maddie's like basically like a younger me. But this guy was bugging me like crazy. Like this dude was sending me a bunch of messages and it was super annoying. But the thing is he never stopped bugging me. And then now here he is killing it with trading. He's only been in a year and he's doing pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Mini me. All right, guys. So there's no entries for us to take right now. I'm still looking for something here, but there's just nothing for us to take at the moment. We have a buy signal right here, but you know, as I mentioned, this strategy is not the best on the 1 minute because there's so many red flags here. Crap, I deleted everything off the chart, but we did have a lot of news price up here. Let me see if I can still pull it up. I don't think I can pull it up anymore. But we had news prices and then we had, crap, it's okay, guys. We had opening price. Let me just see if I could draw a couple of them up real quick. I think opening price probably be the main thing. All right, so we had a bunch of red flags right here. So it's hard for us to take these high-low momentum scalps around this area because we did see one here earlier. What was it? This one right here, right? So we did see this one right here. The only problem is that it was right at opening price, so we couldn't really take it. Right, it had to cut the opening price right here. And that's what caused it to reverse down. So I don't really like taking these entries on the 1 minute too much. what I'll do is I'll mark them up on the 10-minute here. There's obviously no entries here on the 10, but if I saw one here, I would mark it up. And then once I have that marked up, I would take the scalps within the 1 minute. So if I have that marked up there, I would take it here for high-low scalp, high-low quick scalp, and whatever scalps I can find within the move, because I'm expecting it to continue to push up higher. Natasha's not booking you, Sean. Maddie's going to get me together too. Yeah, no, definitely, guys. So always feel free to hit up Maddie, because Maddie actually, he does want to help. He's a little busy too, so it might be hard to like really get a hold of him. I'll help him get a schedule together, but it's going to help him get better, because he really wants to grow with K2. He really wants to master these strategies. I mean, he's doing pretty good so far, so he's got a ways to go. All right, 7:48 right now. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at these Forex pairs real quick to see if there's any entries that I can take here, so I can show you guys. I don't think there's going to be anything here, because there's all these big candle moves that happened on the inflation news earlier today. So I might have to wait until later today, or maybe even Asia session, before I can take any of these entries. Which is fine. I mean, Forex has been a back and forth game this week because of the news events. I'm kind of like around break even. I was up last week, and then I ate a loss, and then I made it back, and then I ate a loss, and I made it back. It's just been back and forth losses and wins on Forex. But the thing is, I'm using the same 3% per trade, so I'm not really losing anything. It's either I'm recovering or I'm making profit. All right, so there's no Forex pairs here to take. Back to US30 over here. Price is back at opening price. Seth said he's done for the day. Take care, everyone. Definitely, Seth. We'll see you here tomorrow as we close out the trading week. So some more profits over here from David. Locked another $49. Nice work, David. Closing out the day strong. Rashida over here too. She said made a mistake but caught the quick scalp just now. So nice work, Rashida. Rashida here took a couple trades. Looks like you had a couple losses. They weren't too bad though. So you made a couple losses here. One loss right there. This looks like a full loss, which is fine. It happens. But you bounce back pretty nicely. So this is the key thing, guys. Whenever you guys are taking trades, always make sure that you don't let this get in the way, right? So this is a good thing. Rashida she didn't pay no attention to any of these losses right here. She kind of just ate the loss, let it go. Kept going, and then she made it right back. So today she's in profit 1,032, and that's a key thing. It's okay to have losses, guys. You know, losses are part of the game. You know, the main key thing is that you bounce back from it. The problem with a lot of people is they'll have a loss and they'll be so focused on that loss that they want a revenge trade, right? Just looking at your lot sizes over here, Rashida, you actually did a good job. So you didn't revenge trade on the next one. You actually took like smaller lot sizes, and then during the live session today, you went back to your full lot sizes. So smart move on Rashida there. And you know, that's the thing of the game, guys. The key thing with trading is that you guys have to understand to play your hand when it needs to be played, right? When you have a loss, don't play your hand where you're taking like double your lot size. This is what happens with a lot of people. Like Rashida here did a smart thing where she went from 30 lots to 10 lots. I see a lot of people go from like 30 lots and they double up to 60 lots to 100 lots because they want to revenge trade their way back. That's like a quick way to blow your account. If you use these lot sizes here, so Maddie over here put these down, this is going to take a while to pass your challenge or whatever you guys are doing on FTMO. So this is 1%, right? You need to make 10% to pass. So you need 10 wins to pass, which is not very difficult to take within a whole month period. It's easy to catch 10 trades. But the thing is, you just have to have the patience to actually take 10 trades. So if you stick within these lot sizes and you stick below the 1% risk, you're going to reach your profit goal at the end of the month. It's just, you know, it's just a matter of time. So just, you know, keep that in mind when you guys are taking trades and stay focused. So some more profits here from Kenny. Kenny is currently up 15 for the day. Nice for Kenny. Looks like you had a loss here on open, unfortunately. So it's all good, but you bounced your way back. So loss right here on open, but you made your way back with these smaller trades and basically clawed your back way into profit. So nice work, Kenny. Solid recovery there. All right, so I don't really see much going on here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. As we mentioned earlier, guys, tomorrow's going to be, it's probably going to be a bit of a slow day because it's a holiday. So tomorrow we will be combining live session with mentoring session, right? So we'll do the live session and then we'll try to incorporate mentoring into the session as well if the market gets slow. If the market picks up, we'll go back into actual trading. But I mean, for the most part, I'll try to show you guys the high-low momentum. And let me just show you the high-low reversal too, since we're already here. I don't see any other trades coming up right now. So let me see if I could find an example here. So the problem with this strategy though is that it's like the strategy is a bit it's a bit subjective because the high lows don't always establish right away. So this is why I don't like the strategy as much. It's one that I've used and one that works well too, but it's just I feel like something else needs to be added. So okay, so for the high low reversal, for the first requirement, I'll just put for buys. For high with a green candle and a low with a green candle. To enter on the close of the green candle. Reset stop loss at low. TP equal distance for a 1-to-1 closest to 0. Yeah, I think that's it. So for sell, same thing, just opposite. Just gonna copy this. Just same thing. Just you're looking for different low with the red candle. All right, so this is a high-low reversal strategy. This is another one I'm going to show you guys tomorrow. So I'm just going to show you a quick example of it, how it works. So for example, right here, we have a high with a red, right? So we're going to look for a sell. Look for a low with a red candle. So we have one right here. This is a low with a red candle, right? Look for a high with a red candle. You have that set up right there. And then that's pretty much all you're looking for. This is a reversal pattern. So you see how price is pushing up. You have the low and a high with the red candle. This is indicating that price is going to come down. So with this right here, you enter a short position. You set your stop loss at the low right here. You can see it's at 33. So we're just going to round that to 35 because you want to round it to either the 5 or the 0. You let the trade run from that point and trade runs down full TP. Right. So this is an example of a high-low reversal strategy. It's a little different. It doesn't use momentum. This is just use the high lows. You can't really see any over here because market was all weird this morning. I don't even know where things at. Trying to figure out where this thing's going. All right, let me just delete this real quick. And let me see if I could find another one here. I'll try to find a buy if possible. Okay, so here's one right here. So I showed you the sell already. I'm going to show you the buy. So same thing. Now that you have a buy here, it's a low with the green candle. So you have a high with the green candle, and you have a low with the green candle, right? So it's the opposite. You're basically looking for the same thing the opposite way. When you're looking for a sell, you're looking for a low with the red and a high with the red. For a buy, you're looking for a high with the red, with the green, and a low with the green. So green high, green low. Same thing. You enter when the candle closes. Stop loss is right here. It's for 90 pips. Have it all set up right there. Let the trade run. Kind of go sideways for a bit. Swings back up, full TP. So very simple strategies. See if I could find one more. I can't tell what kind of candle this is right here. If it was green, you take the buy, but just can't tell from that point. This is during Asia session or London, so it's kind of, you see like some weird choppy moves here. And again, the strategy is probably not best used on the 1 minute because you're not going to have enough space to place your stop loss. This is probably best used on the higher time frames, just like the high-low momentum. Okay, here's one more right here. For a buy. So you have a high here with the green candle, low with the green candle, enter a long position right there, stop loss right there for 110 pips. You have it set up right there, let the trade run, retraces back a little bit, swings up, full TP. So super simple strategy. We'll go over this more in detail tomorrow. Just wanted to give you guys a quick little preview of like what we're looking at. Those are the two main strategies I wanted to show you guys. They're just like small variations of the strategies we're already applying. But they work pretty well. I mean, you guys can, so the thing with the momentum strategy is that it's just a spin-off of the intraday strategy, except you're not using the trend anymore. You're just using, price action, I guess. You're looking for supply and demand, but we're basically identifying supply and demand before it's actually confirmed. So we have a head start to identify it. The problem with identifying supply and demand is that a lot of people identify it too late. And at that point, they already missed the move. So I don't see any entries here. So if there's any questions, guys, it's 8 o'clock already. So it's about time for us to get off the live session. I don't really see anything else coming up right here. Let me check if there's any news for today that's coming up after the live. So we do have some news over here at 9:30. We have the Fed speaking. I think this is Fed week, actually. So I thought Fed week was next week, but they moved it a week early, it looks like. So the Fed is speaking today at 9:30. You want to be careful. They're going to talk about inflation news from today. There's a lot of big inflation news that came up. Obviously, you saw every pair got kind of spiked. So we got news coming up at 9:30. We got more news coming up over here at 10:30. And I think that's about it for today. Federal budget balance at 11. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. If you guys have any other questions later on in the day, always feel free to message me on Telegram or message me through email. My email is sean@kodikaitrades.com. Also, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to the indicators, just go on the website, go to kodikaitrades.com, and then you can get your access right here. Other than that, I think tomorrow will be a pretty big day. So if you guys can make it tomorrow, come tomorrow because we're going to be mixing it with the mentoring session. So I'll be going over the strategy, a lot of examples so that you guys can apply it and practice it yourself over the weekend. I think you guys will really like the strategy because this is basically the only strategy I've been applying for all of the signals and they've been hitting a lot. So other than that, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. I don't really see much happening here. Price is still stuck around opening price here. There's just nothing going on, right? It was due to this big push this morning. So like after this big push, market really hasn't chosen a direction. It's kind of just going back and forth. Realistically, price has just been ranging. So you can't really tell from a big view, but if you look at it from here, you just zoom out a little bit. You see that price hasn't really gone anywhere. It's just going back and forth between this area. It hasn't really pushed outside above further or pushed below. Opening price is right here at this blue line. So if you were to measure it, you can see here that price is literally not even anywhere past opening. So it went up a little bit, maybe like 100 pips or 600 pips or so. It did drop a bit earlier, but then it came right back up. But it's literally back to where it was, about 2 hours ago, which, I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't make any sense, right? Because price should be going somewhere. Like after this big push, price should be going either up higher for continuation or it should be correcting back down. But it just hasn't done anything. It's literally back at this blue line, which is where it was, an hour and a half ago. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Telegram or email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com. Otherwise, if you guys want access to all of the live sessions, if you guys want to go back and watch the previous live sessions to see how everything was running, just go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on get access to Kodi Kai live trading sessions on YouTube, click on that. I got to update that. Sorry, guys. It looks like the link there is kind of the old one. So I got to fix that. But yeah, I'll fix that today. And if there's anything else that you guys want to reach out and discuss, then feel free to reach out to me. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. And we will come back tomorrow for the next live session as we continue on and wrap up this trading week. So have a great week, rest of your